This is the BenQ X3100i, a 4K gaming projector that feels like it was tuned by people who actually play. My first moments with it were all about the setup, and I was relieved by how fast it went. I dropped it on a shelf, spun the zoom and focus dials, nudged the vertical lens shift, and the image locked onto my 100-inch screen without tilting the projector or touching digital tricks. If you're new to this, lens shift is a physical adjustment that moves the picture up or down without hurting sharpness. It's different from Keystone, which is a digital fix that skews the image and can soften details or add delay. From my experience, that lens shift dial is the star upgrade. It makes the X3100i far easier to position in a real room. Once I fired up a console, the first thing that stood out was how immediate it felt. Input lag is the delay between your button press and what you see. Here, it's impressively low. At 1080p with 240 Hz on a PC, it feels glued to my hands, snappy, accurate, no second-guessing my aim. On PS5 and Series X, I went back and forth between 4K at 60 Hz for eye candy and 1080p at 120 Hz for speed. You can't do native 4K at 120 Hz on this projector, so you pick your priority, and the projector makes that decision honest. In my opinion, if you play competitive shooters or racers, 120 Hz at 1080p is the sweet spot. If you play cinematic games, 4K at 60 Hz looks crisp and saturated. Key features that matter most day to day are the 3300 ANSI Lumens brightness, the 4LED light source, the generous lens shift, and eARC for audio. Brightness makes the picture hold up with lights on, and that's where a lot of home gaming actually happens. The 4LED engine turns on instantly, and it's rated for tens of thousands of hours, so you don't have to think about replacing lamps. Color is bold out of the box, and HDR looks lively without weird flicker or pumping in brightness. The X3100i does punchy highlights and vibrant tones well, and it's especially fun with colorful games and animation. There's one area that never completely goes away: black levels in a dark room. If you watch a moody movie with the lights off, blacks sit more like deep gray than inky black. That flattens shadow depth a bit, and you'll notice it in long night scenes. In a brighter living room, the strength flips. The high brightness and strong color carry the picture, and the elevated blacks become less obvious. In my opinion, this projector is tuned for real spaces, not perfect theaters. It favors impact and speed over pure darkness. I tried the built-in Android TV via the included BenQ dongle. The good news is, app support is broad, Netflix works, and casting from a phone is straightforward. The not-so-good news is the interface can lag. Navigating menus isn't as quick as the rest of the hardware feels, and I had a couple of slowdowns switching between apps. I ended up using an external streamer for smoother scrolling. If you're sensitive to UI slowdowns, plan on plugging in something like an Apple TV or a Shield for a better day-to-day experience. On audio, the internal speakers are better than I expected for casual use. Clear dialogue, decent punch in a bedroom or small living room. For serious setups, eARC on HDMI 2 is the real win. That lets the projector pass high-quality formats like Dolby Atmos to a soundbar or receiver with a single cable. I hooked it to a soundbar over eARC, and lip sync was tight, no fuss. If you're gaming, wired or eARC audio is the way to go because Bluetooth can add delay you'll feel. Let's talk picture feel. From my experience, 4K 60 Hz and HDR on this projector looks sharp and lively. Skin tones sit naturally, the added brightness brings out highlight detail, and the color volume is excellent for games like Spider-Man, Forza, or anything with lush environments. Motion at 60 Hz is clean, and at 120 Hz or 240 Hz it turns silky. If you're wondering about 3D, it supports it. I ran a short 3D clip, and depth looked solid with the right glasses, though that's more of a fun extra than a daily driver feature for me. Heat and noise are part of any bright projector. In eco modes, the fan is noticeable, but fades into the background once game audio kicks in. In the brightest picture modes, the fan spins up and becomes more audible, especially in quiet films. It never got hot to the touch for me, and I didn't see any brightness drops over longer sessions. Just know that if you watch a slow, quiet drama at night, you'll hear the fan. If you're playing Call of Duty, you won't care. On placement, the throw ratio gives you flexibility. I filled a 100-inch screen from roughly the back half of a mid-sized room, and because of the vertical lens shift, I didn't need to stack books or tilt the projector to center the image. If you can avoid Keystone, do it. It's tempting, but optical alignment is cleaner, sharper, and faster for gaming. There are a few gaming-centric touches I found genuinely useful. The FPS mode lifts shadow detail, so dark corners aren't a guessing game. RPG mode boosts color in a way that makes fantasy worlds pop. There's a crosshair overlay if you want it, and there's a PC tool for sharing game-specific profiles. None of that replaces proper calibration, but it gives you quick wins without any hassle. It's perfect for people who want a huge, responsive picture in a living room or media space, who play a lot of fast titles, and who care about color and clarity more than ultra-deep blacks. If you're building a light-controlled theater and you mostly watch dark movies, the black floor will be your sticking point. From my experience, the strengths outweigh that trade-off for the way I actually use a projector during the week. I'd recommend this for PC players who can push 1080p at 240 Hz or 1440p at 120 Hz. Console gamers who value 4K at 60 Hz or high frame rate at 1080p. And anyone who needs flexible placement without compromising the picture with digital fixes. If you're picky about smart TV performance, plan on adding an external streamer. If you're picky about sound, leverage eARC and let your audio gear shine. In my opinion, the X3100i nails what a gaming-first projector should do. It feels fast, it looks vivid, and it fits real rooms. It's not chasing perfection in a pitch-black cave. It's leaning into brightness, color, and responsiveness, and that focus pays off the instant you pick up a controller. In conclusion, the BenQ X3100i earns its spot as my go-to gaming projector for a mixed-use space. It's not flawless, but the trade-offs are honest, and the wins are exactly where they should be for players. You can view detailed information about the BenQ X3100i in the comments section. Thank you for watching.